Yes.
Okay, I have to do this, Mike. I'm sorry. First Peter 19, the word also is not in the text.
Thank you. I sent you the damn thing before the teaching. You could have told me.
I didn't look at it before the teaching, and
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you brought it in.
your teaching brought to mind. I have the book also by E.W. Bollinger.
Gotcha.
So I looked it up just to see if it what he had to say, and it's not there.
No, also. There's also no also there. Okay, I got
There's
it.
also no also there, and I didn't
That's
want to.
real emphasis.
I didn't want to stop you while you were teaching because it was going so good.
I understand that, and I'm glad you brought. This is why we have. Hey, folks, those of you who have joined us, this is why we have fellowship after hours. What a concept!
That's right, and I would expect Michael to do the same thing to me if he saw something I was teaching was not quite there. I mean, I don't know what version you were using, why they put in also.
NIV, and I don't have any idea either. I've never actually did. Obviously, that word escaped me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's all one word. It says we also have is incromen. I'm looking it up now. Just to
okay.
Say increment. Oh, it says and in conjunction with increment. Kia increment. And increment means it might be incholman. To have, to hold, to possess. So that we possess, we have, we hold would be a better translation of that.
Yeah.
A more certain prophetic word.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I would never looked it up if you didn't correct me. Hey, we're growing! What a concept!
Well, we all have. You've done it with me before when I taught something that was kind of out there.
This is a vendetta.
I got your back now.
Hey, man, if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's number one, I'm wrong a lot. And number two, I love to be corrected because what's that old thing about driving to go to Disney World? You drive to go to Disney World and you look up and it says California, 3 miles. And you wanted to go to the Disney World in Florida and you find out you're on the wrong freeway and you correct yourself, right?
Yeah. You're heading for Disney World. And,
so thank you, Don.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember there was a night somebody taught something and we expounded a more pure rendering of the scripture.
Yes.
And that's our job. That's what you were teaching tonight.
Find it and find out what it said, what it meant to them, and preserve it for others.
Right.
That's how you preserve it.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, if I did something like that, I would expect any one of you to tell me, Don, you're wrong. It's like that thing with the star. And where was it? And it says it's to the north. All these years, I thought that they headed for Jerusalem. They didn't head for Jerusalem. They headed for Nazareth.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, because they were it was that. Did you see that, Mr. Culp?
When?
We had fellowship last Tuesday night, and John Tudor brought up the fact of where did the wise men go to see Jesus, and we pulled the scriptures up and stuff, and they were in Nazareth, and I mean that's the last documented place of Jesus was Nazareth, but the star was. When the star came up out of the horizon, you know how it says, and it hung over the city because it was, is it called Athrim? I'm sorry, Athrim or something?
it stood over the city,
Yeah.
and that's a term used in astronomy.
Yeah,
That means
but
that it had
it all
reached the apex of the highest
right.
part of its path in the sky above the
The
They-
thing
rest.
is, it said they looked to the north.
They saw the star in the north.
North. Bethlehem is south.
Yeah.
So they were not in Jerusalem.
They were in Jerusalem, but
were in-
when they came out from Herod's council, Herod sent them on their way to Bethlehem because that's what the scribes and the Pharisees had found out from the scriptures where he would be born. But when they
Mhm.
came out from Herod, they saw the star because Herod told them he sent them to Bethlehem. But when they came out from Herod, they saw the star and it was hanging over where the child was. And the child, if they would have came out, and I actually did this after John brought it up last week. I pulled up my stellarium that the star would have been north at 11 o'clock, hanging over Nazareth, the Nazarite, and they would have changed their direction and gone north instead of south to Bethlehem. Anyways, it's really kind of cool. I loved John.
Yeah, that was so awesome
Yes.
to learn I had been teaching it wrong for 40 some odd years.
Yeah. It was a more clear picture. That's why we're a body. What a concept.
Wow.
You can watch the alsos. John can watch the stars, and Mr. Culp can correct me on how to hold the damn golf club.
Right. And he can also keep track of those little words.
Oh yeah, I love God's little words. But I still go to that teaching. That's one of the best teachings we have.
Where was it located that said they looked north?
It wasn't it was where Jupiter was. It wasn't. I don't know that it said that they looked north. It's
In the
where
scripture.
Jupiter would have been hanging in the sky when they left Herod's presence. That would have got their attention. In other words, if you go to a star chart, you'll see Jupiter would have been at 11 o'clock in the sky due north, hanging over where the child would be.
I think it says it in Matthew.
Does it say it? I didn't see the look north, but I knew that from the star charts when I was studying that. Let's see what we got here. They saw his star in the north. Is that what it says?
For some reason, this stupid Bible hub won't take me to Matthew 2.
And my mind's stuck too. You know, the
Okay.
devil's doing this all day long. I had to go get my wife in the hospital, and my navigation system wouldn't work, and I didn't know where to go. And my computer system fried this morning, and a wind came and blew a pole light down. And this must going to be a good teaching for somebody.
Well, that's why we have instruction in righteousness.
That's right.
Okay.
This is funny. It ain't funny. It's terrible. After they had heard the king, Matthew chapter 2, verse 9, they went on their way, and the star they had seen, when it rose and went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. Now, what I did when I was doing the star chart is I
Right.
looked to see, and I never paid attention that I don't think I knew at the time Bethlehem was south and Nazareth was north, but I did know that the star rose in the north. It rose up to where it would go into its atrium, to where you would see it in the northern sky. And again, I say northern, it would have been the high north. It would have been just north of them. They would have had to look north to see the star. They would have looked up because the damn thing was damn near straight up, but it would have been north of them.
Let's check a different version.
That's what I'm doing. Pulling up the interlinear too.
Yeah, the star.
The star was in the east, went before them until, having arrived, it stood over. That's Itala, which is that word. Where was the child? It stood over where was the child.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that you've studied the charts that we know that the star would have come to the north.
Right. And I think I could even show that. This is kind of cool.
Because this is like a year and a half after his birth.
18 months.
18 months. Yeah, I said a year and a half. 18 months.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I hung around my wife too long. When the baby is 6 months old, not
half a year.
Yeah, or 12. The baby is 12 months old, not a year old. It's 12 months old. It's 11 months. Anyways, around my woman too much.
Yeah, I'm 6.5.
I'm 6.5.
Yeah, you ask all the kids, how old are you? I'm 5 3/4. I'm 7 2/10.
Right.
They always tend to get older than they really are.
When they get older, then they start subtracting.
Yeah. They finally wise up after they get about 30, 40. Go, wait a minute. This is counterproductive.
Anyways, you guys, while you're talking, I'm actually bringing up Stellarium. I can actually go the years off because Stellarium puts the year zero in there, which throws everything off.
Yeah.
You got to do 1 BC, which is when the Magi would have been there according to Stellarium, but it's actually 2 BC because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Stellarium?
No.
No.
Let me share this then. This is really, really a cool little program. I guess I better share the right page. Hold on. This one. Stellarium is a star chart. And you can do all kinds of neat things. There's our moon coming up this evening in the east. Last night was the apex moon, and you can click on little things and get your diagrams up. I'll show you something I learned a couple weeks ago when we do this. And you can get the names of all the constellations, and you can even click another one and get the form of the constellation. So the moon is in Cancer. But you can come down here, and there is a time chart, which basically you can go forward or backward in time as far or as fast as you want to pick out a specific year or date to see where the stars were at that time. You can go to the Civil War. Okay. We're at 552 BC, or 152 BC. Anyways, you can do it a lot easier this year actually, and click in the number you want. So we're wanting 2 BC. And we're going to go to December. That's close. We might have to go forward or backward a little bit. And it gives the correlating Julian calendar for that time period. And we're going to look at the sky. I might have to go forward and back because it's 18 months and December is not exactly 18 months. But we got to find Jupiter. So in order to find Jupiter, we're going to go over here and we're going to watch Jupiter because that's the star that they were actually watching and observing as the king star in the sky.
Okay, Mike, you're not showing the star chart.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Better?
It
So-
was for a second.
Oh, as soon as I click on it, it changes. That's weird. Let me put you. So it must have something to do with it taking over the screen.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, it's at 11 o'clock north, and I'm JU. Get a picture of it. Send it out.
I'm curious, does that program show the 2 times in the Bible where time went in reverse?
That would be interesting. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Because I remember I heard, no idea if this is true or not, I heard that they were checking time and there's a day and a half missing. Which is about the amount of time that it went in reverse.
That's interesting.
I don't know if it's true. So don't bank on that. That could be an urban legend.
Well, I was watching a show, I forgot the name of it, on TV the other night on PBS, Nature or something. And these scientists and all these people were taking layers of stuff out of the ocean or somewhere. And they had come up, I don't know if it was a theory or if they had seen it in the ocean, but it was like they said a 7-mile meteor went into the ocean and rocked everything. And it's like they were talking about exactly what Genesis 1:2, the little bit of language that is there described it from what, I've heard Bob Wasson talk about it and how the sun was blocked and all this stuff. And it was, of course they didn't mention anything about Genesis, but it was amazing the research that they had done and how that it destroyed the dinosaurs and a lot of different, anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one that hit down around South America.
Okay.
Interesting, to say the least. It's always fun when you study science and put it up against the Word and how much of science is actually in the Word.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Now there's
Yeah.
a thing about the planets. They usually follow the same path through the sky as the sun does.
Mm.
And so, and then when they're in conjunction, means that they're all on the same meridian, the same line of latitude in the sky, from the equator to the North Pole or the North Star. they're all in that line. And there's a whole lot of those things going on too. But the sun never goes farther north than the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Those are those lines that run parallel to the equator,
Yeah.
north and south of the equator. I don't remember which one's which.
Yeah.
One's north and one's south.
South, right. The reason, it's like the sun never goes north of the equator. So how come we have winter or summer?
Mm-hmm.
The reason we have summer is the sun is pointed directly at us. That's why we have summer season. It's not above the equator, but it's coming right down on top of us. Where in Australia, the sun goes directly over Australia.
Well, it doesn't go directly over it. It goes closer to being directly over it than it does in the summertime for us.
They have their summer in December. The winter months are their summer months.
Yes.
Well, then I just need to move to Australia between November and February then, huh?
There you go.
There you go. Hope you're going to get temperatures like Mike has
Oh.
in the summer.
Huh.
I have a friend who lived there, and they used to hit temperatures like 115, 110.
What are their winters
Dry
like?
heat.
I don't know.
Houston's winters? They just have 3 months of cold weather, maybe.
Who knows? Get friendly with someone in Australia, and they'll tell you about it.
Yeah. Huh.
You want to find how far north of the equator they are or how south of the equator they are. Like Columbus is 40 degrees north latitude. So if you follow that line of latitude, which is parallel to the equator, all around into Europe and all around, you'll find out who has similar weather conditions
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
as far as temperature goes.
Uh-huh.
And then do the same thing on south of the equator.
Okay.
Since we're 40 degrees north of the equator, go 40 degrees south of the equator, and you'll find the same thing, only in the opposite seasons.
That's another reason the shepherds would not have been in the field by night, because if you check that out from that area, you'll find that it goes straight through the United States, the northern part of the United States. So it would be, temperatures down in the 30s, and 20s, maybe even, and they would never take the sheep out at that temperature. They'd always have them inside.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Freeze their little lamb chops off.
Yeah. They knew what snow was.
Don, as far as the planetary thing on the Arithma scale would have been at the least in the winter sky.
Yeah, the only time the sun is directly over the equator is the first day of spring and the first day of autumn.
Yeah.
The rest of the time it's north or south of the equator.
Right.
The spring and fall solstice. Or is that what it is? Solstice?
Summer solstice and equinox is in the spring and fall.
Yeah.
That's when your days and nights are equal.
Right.
the number of hours in a day.
It's always, you know, I used to never understood science. And since I got in the Word, I understand science much better than I did when I was in high school. That hair keeps popping up.
Well, I think I'm going to turn in, guys. I got to get up
Okey-doke.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. All righty.
We sure love you, John.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Dana. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night, I guess.
I'll let
Okey-doke.
Michael, Don, and Don, see you later. Bless you.
All
Later.
right.
Thanks
Hey,
for
John.
coming.
Yep.
That's so neat. The picture just. So how about the rest of you? Do you want to keep going or got anything more you want to say?
I'm good. I mean,
Yep. I'm good.
I love you guys.
Love you guys
Love you
too. Hold
too. Good to see and hear
Yes.
from folks down there and south of the border,
Huh?
or near the southern border.
on. Okay,
I love it. That's great.
I'm going to end the broadcast, guys.
Yes, sir.
So to all of our friends, to our four, let's see, what is it? 3 friends out there who are viewing this, good night.
Good night.
Good night.